Hello, everybody. Sorry about my tardiness today, my friends. It's having a little trouble connecting my computer. What a surprise. And that's what happens when you're the talent and the production assistant. So apologies for that. The color also is a little funky on this. So sorry about that. I'm not really sure. Maybe I need one more light. Let me try that. Let me move this light over. Maybe that's better. Anyway, that's what we've got today. I'm a little sepia toned, I feel, but I am here. You are here. Again, apologies for the tardiness. Sometimes the computer going live gods are just not with you. But today we are going to have a fun time with my Tucson finds, these desert slices. We're going to play around with those. I've been thinking about how I want to create with these, so I think we're going to have a good time. Let's see who is here. Emma, thank you. I'm excited, pardon me, to share what I'm going to do with these stones. It looks like while I was working, everybody was talking about what to have for luncheon, which is great. Happy Easter weekend to all of you. If you celebrate, or there's all kinds of spring holidays going on. It was the spring equinox. It was Purim. I think it was, I don't know, there was a couple of other holidays in there that I know that I'm missing, but happy spring, everyone. We're going to have a fun Easter get together with my family. Chris and I are going to do a lot of shopping for Easter dinner. I'm going to make lamb. It's going to be good times. So anyway, great to see you. Oh, and of course, the month of Ramadan, of course. And Janice says she's doing Passover light on Sunday. That's great. Thank you, CR. My buddy CR is watching. Also, my buddy who lives in Fresno, very gifted jewelry designer. Your eagle eye did see this, CR. This was from the sewing retreat last week. Actually, a friend of mine made it. It's a Tina Givens pattern. So yes, I'm feeling kind of boho fabulous today. And my mom is asking the all important question: did I get C's candy? And the answer is, Ma, yes, I did. I did. The earrings I am wearing are the ones that Drea loves to make. It's our dancer earrings. This is the project one I made a while back, but I thought it was perfect for spring. So let me wipe my glasses off, and let's chat a bit. Let me put these desert slices up on the screen, and as I am working, cleaning my glasses, I'll tell you about these. Before I even get to that, though, because what I'm going to use today is actually on sale today. It was on sale yesterday. Drea put them on sale. And I told her, I said, let's extend that sale to today because I'm going to use it today. So let me show you what that is. All of our leather, I'm going to cover myself here. The 20 millimeter leather, it was 40% off yesterday, and we extended that sale to today, and I've got it here. The reason is there's nothing wrong with it. We just have a ton of it, and we're actually going to be adding a fresh vendor to our leathers and getting some new leather colors in. So we need to make some room. So we thought, you know what? We are just going to discount this for a couple of days. It's 40% off, which is ridiculous. So if you love all of those things that I've been doing with the leather, today's the day to grab it. I don't believe, I'm going to go over and take a look at it real quick. I don't believe that you need to, you don't even need to put in a coupon. It is all marked down already. So, my friends, that means that you can bundle it with other items. So that's great. So we've got, so it's 40% off. You can actually bundle it with other coupons. So now is the time to grab it if you love it. So that being said, let me show you. I'm clicking all over here. Let me get back to the screen so I can see you. Okay, so now that my glasses are clean, the beads are here. I've told you about the 40% off. Let's take a look at the project. So there are still some of these left. We launched these at midnight this morning, or 12:01 this morning. And these, I call these desert slices. They are semi-precious beads, semi-precious kind of slice beads. And I think they're just gorgeous. I've got 2 packages here, actually, that I'm going to show you. I'm going to put them put them there. Let me get my measurer, my millimeter gauge right here so I can show you. While Christine and I were in Tucson and we were shopping the show, you know, we run through those shows so quickly. It's crazy. And we have such a good time looking at all of the fun stuff that we have going on. Whoops, sorry, you guys. I was trying to block that. Instead, I put it up. Let me delete it. Sorry. I'm just taking care of that little bit of a spam in there. Anyway, as Christine and I were running around at the Tucson show, these beads actually stopped me in my tracks, right? You know, you see so many beads and so many things, and it was close to the end of the day when I saw these. And so Christine and I were looking. This is a vendor that I actually hadn't met before. She was really nice, woman-owned business. These came straight from Hong Kong, from overseas. And it was one of the first times she had ever done the gem show. So we had a nice chat. I liked her a lot. I liked the quality of her stones a lot. So you're going to see coming down the pike, I have a really cool kit that I'm making up for you folks that actually has some rough cut rubies in it, right? But that's for another day. But that's from the same vendor. So I looked at these and I bought actually all that she had. I loved them. I'm not going to be able to get these again unless I see her next year. But I called these desert slices because they're kind of rondelles, they're kind of barrels, they're kind of, you know, I don't know, kind of spacers, right? They're super chunky and delicious. They have a lot of different sizes to them, and the quality is great. So the stones that you're going to get, I'm going to open up 2 bags. We've sold through about half of our inventory. This is 2 bags. They come in 10 to a bag, right? And they are heavy on the tiger eye. There's a lot of tiger eye in there. And then there are other stones. There are like silverleaf jasper, there's ocean jasper, red jasper, Dalmatian jasper, unakite, aventurine. It's going to be kind of a crapshoot about what you get. Okay. So let me show you the sizes. These are kind of chunky monkeys. So you can see this one is super chunky. That one's almost 12 millimeters. They are all about the same diameter, about 15 millimeters wide. But then there's some that are thinner, like this unakite. That's thinner there, right? And then there's some that kind of fall in the middle, right? Mostly they're super round, though, like this one, you can see this one has a little flat spot there. But the hole sizes, the holes are really clean. nothing sharp, and they're beautifully polished. A few of them, as I say, like this one has a little bit of a flat side, and this one you can see is cut a little bit off, but they're so gorgeous. They are big beads. I love them. So what I did was I bagged them. We bagged them in bags of 10. You are going to get an assortment. If you want this many, this is 2 bags. And the quality is nice. I priced them at a really good price. They do not qualify, since they're a Tucson find, they don't qualify for discounts. I just passed on the really good pricing right on to you. So if you put them in your cart and you use like a coupon code or other things, it's not going to apply. But I think you'll be really, really pleased with the results. And if you love these, grab them. Again, they're not going to be back. This one, I think maybe is a Picasso jasper here. They're really just gorgeous stones. So I'm going to work with these today. I'm going to share some ideas with you. Also, I wanted to let you know these elusive, I know how much you loved the dragon barrels. I'm going to work with the barrels again today also as well, because I think they mix. Look at how good these mix together. I know you folks love these dragon barrels. I just was texting with our supplier, and she's so great. She said, I'm out of the office right now, but I'll text you some pictures. So I also asked her if she had them in different colors and stuff. So I promise you, I will be getting these back in. So if she has them, so put yourself on the notification list for these, and I'll try and get as many as I can. Janice, thanks for the question. Coupons, codes will work on other things in your cart, of course, as well as the flat leather that I'm going to be working with. Let me show you. Audrey, thank you for asking. I am going to talk to you about the thread sizes. Let's do that now. So what I've got here, and I'm going to kind of play around with both of these, and let's take a look at both of these. Are you guys wearing your stacks? Are you folks wearing your stacks, your friendship stacks? I'm wearing mine today, my friendship bracelet from Wednesday. I'm thinking whatever I'm going to make today is kind of going to stack up with it kind of nicely. Also, friends, I have this right here. If you haven't made, you remember when I had those really cool African trade beads, the African seed beads? Well, I have the necklace that I did on the air. I have it here. If you folks happen to get some of these, I don't have them in stock now, and they're kind of hard to come by. I may have some more later this year. You could add some of these big, really beautiful barrel beads, and you could add some of these slices. Look at how pretty those slices look in that. Isn't that gorgeous? So, Dawn, you don't have to make me muffins for the dragon beads. I promise. If they are available, my friend, I will get them and we will announce it in the newsletter. Here's the other necklace that I made with those vintage African seed beads. If you didn't happen to grab these when we had them, you could also use our Padres. Let me show you these. I've been thinking about a project with the Padre beads. It's kind of rolling around in my head. I have some here. They're actually kind of tangled. So I'm going to untangle them real quick. But these are the vintage the vintage seed beads, and you can see this closure, what I did with the closure, that's silk wrapped there. And these I all just glued in the bullet clasps, or these barrel clasps. I guess we call these the smooth barrel. The smooth barrels in 4mm, I just shipped off to our fulfillment center. So you will see the 4mm come back in stock in probably just a few days. So make sure if you want these clasps that you are on the email list for those, because I did get them back in for you. Let me move all of this over. I have a totally other idea in mind, but let me just do your beads look like that? I'm totally embarrassed that these look like they're in a big tangle, but they are. That's how it is. Dose of realness behind the scenes here. I think these Padres would look so cool. Maybe I'll just use the ends that aren't tangled. This is ridiculous. You know, our Fridays are always so much more lax than our Wednesday broadcasts that are a little more formal. This is about as lax as it gets. Oh my goodness. Tell me, friends, that I am not alone in this. Let me just put the part that's tangled off camera. Oh my goodness. Sorry, that was super embarrassing. But look at these Padres. How cool. Leslie says hers are still in baggies. I should probably have kept them in the baggies, but I didn't. Here we go. Look at these flavors right here. This red, the bright white, I think this is the linen, this green. I think this is the lettuce maybe. And I think this is like the mushroom color like this. I know my mom says I'm tangling them more. What a mess, right? But this looks okay. Now that the tangle is off screen. So anyway, but it happens to all of us. But look at how cool these look with the barrels, and then you could also add in your slices here. And the slices will come in a random, in kind of a random assortment here, right? So you can kind of play around with those. But this would be a really great multi-strand. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 multi-strand necklace. It would be fabulous, I think. So let me let you screenshot that. And Andy, we are live. I'm back live after the pre-records from last week. So we sure are. Look at these, the Z barrels. Those look great in there too. But I really love like concentrating on one color of the big barrels like this, and then putting in the multicolored slices. I think are cool. So let me put these aside. Let me get this. And let's talk thread. I promised you I would talk about thread. Let me get this giant tangle. It's so tempting though. I can't not try and untangle these beads, right? Are you that way when you get like chains or whatever? I love untangling chains, which is a good thing because I always have tangled chains. All right, put these down and get to the demo. Okay, there we go. I'm going to set them aside. Okay. Here we go. Let's look at threads. Let's start with some Ceylon here. This is the regular. So we know if the regular goes through, that everything below the regular will. And yeah, it fits through there really, really nicely. See there? The holes are super clean on these. I also pulled, today I think I'm going to work with our hemp cord. I haven't done anything with hemp for a while, but I want to make sure that these actually fit, and they do. So if the hemp fits, the hemp and the Irish wax linen are about the same size, so we shouldn't have any trouble with that. Let me throw this in there, and yeah, these work too, like that. Okay. Let me get some leather cord. I want to get some 5mm. I have it here somewhere. Here's a 0.5. No, that's Chinese knotting cord. I think this is 0.5 right here. Let me grab it. I've got a little piece right here that we can test. This is the 0.5mm in the leather. Let's see. That does fit on the 0.5 mil. Let me try a few of them. just to make sure that one wasn't lucky, just a lucky guess. Yeah, look at that 0.5. Looks great on here. Let's try this one. Yep. And then for the barrels, I think I've shown you this before, but this is 1.5 millimeter. I'm just teasing you with this dragon. The dragon, let's try it from the other side. The holes look really big on the ends, but sometimes they're not quite as even on the inside as you want them to be. Let me see if this one works. This one goes through, no problem. 1 millimeter will definitely fit. Let me try this 1.5. Yeah, and this will fit as well. Okay. Good question, Barbara. The holes in the discs are consistent. They are extremely consistent. They're all and nice and clean, no sharp edges around them. So yeah, they all pretty much fit. Let me get this end as a cleaner cut on the leather. They all pretty much fit on this 0.5. Okay, really pretty. Okay, so those are the threads. So let me get some of my flat leather here. And again, remember this flat leather yesterday and today is 40% off. It's marked down. So you don't even need a coupon code or anything like that. It's just marked down. Just toss it in your cart and you are good to go. I like this gray. Let me see. Maybe I'll go a little darker. This is the brown or the distressed brown, I think. Maybe I'll go with that. This leather, as I've talked to you before about, it fits in our 20 millimeter clasps, but it is thick, right? It's a thick leather. They do vary in width. Like, see, that's like 2.5 millimeters. And this one here, that one's 2.2. So they do vary a little bit in the weight, in the thickness of the flat leather. But you can kind of play around with it a bit. Let me grab a clasp, and I just want to make sure that you folks know how to put that in. Like some of our clasps, like this guy, this 20 millimeter, has a really big opening. But something like this clasp, the opening might be a little bit smaller. So let's go over putting that in real quick. Oh, there's a dot one. Look at this. I love our dotted, the 20 millimeter and the dot. That's beautiful. Let me just talk to you about this real quick, and then we'll start playing around with those beads. So here's this one, is that thicker one right here. Okay. Oh, I love this. That's awesome. Mary Ellen, the flat leather sale and your free ham at ShopRite. What a great day. That is awesome. I remember like the free hams for Easter and stuff. My gran used to get a good old canned ham for Easter. I don't know if you folks had that, but we are having Easter ham for sure. Not a canned one. We're probably going to get I don't know, something tasty. And I'm also making lamb. So it's the both main dishes meets this for Easter. But yeah, remember I remember the free Easter ham for sure. Our Nob Hill used to do it. Yeah, for sure. Yes, when you spend enough money. Yeah, Ornette, that's right. When you spend enough money, where is it? There it is. You get a free ham. I love it. Yes, I love it. So I love those family traditions. So you can see here, I'm not going to try and skive all of this down, but I'm skiving down the end of this leather to kind of thin it out there at the end. So it'll fit better in the clasps that are a little bit skinnier. And you can see once that leather is skived down, I'm not doing that great of a job of it. I really want to get in there and, get it in there so it'll fit nicely. But if you skive, and that means that's actually a leather term that means thinning out the leather a bit. You could also do it with an X-Acto knife. I'm just doing it here with my wire cutters. And check it to make sure that it goes into your clasp so that the end fits in there nicely. Okay, so this one here, this dot clasp, it has a larger opening. See how big that opening is? This fits in there, no problem. No skiving needed, right? Like that. This one here also large. But don't let it daunt you. If you have a clasp, or even if you have something that's not from us that's smaller, right? Just thin it down so it fits, right? You can also kind of thin it or cut it at the sides a little bit if you want to this way. So it'll be a little bit easier, to get into the clasp that way. But you just have to play around with it. Okay. Oh, my pop just heard lamb and ham for dinner, and he's excited. Yes, you bet. We're gonna have them both. Whole family's coming. And Pop, I got your C's egg. You've got a coconut egg in your future, 100%. I had to really search, but I got them. Anyways, so let's go take this leather piece. I'm going to cut it down. These come in roughly about a yard. So I'm going to cut these so I have kind of enough to work with. It's going to be a little bit long. I'm going to cut it at 8 inches. Okay. You can rotary cut this if you want. I've got some heavy duty shears that I'll cut this with, however you want to do it. But there we go. We've cut that down. And then now I've got a piece that's a little bit easier to work with. All right. So on the back of my leather, I'm going to mark this so you can see it. If you were doing this at home and you didn't want the marks to really super show, maybe you would do it in like pencil or something, but I want you to be able to see this. So let me get my ruler and I'm going to mark the centers. I've got my clear quilting ruler. Whoops, my clear quilting ruler here. And this, you can see the leather width on this. It's about 3/4 of an inch wide, or about 20 millimeters. All right. Yeah, these Tim Holtz shears for sure, Michelle. I love these. We don't carry these at Bead Shop, but I got a set of these from a friend of mine, a Work of Heart. She owns the Work of Heart, my buddy Andrea. I used to teach classes there. She also is online as well. She gave me these Tim Holtz scissors years and years ago, and they've been steady friends ever since. I love them. I don't know, maybe we could look into carrying them. I love them. I also have a shorter pair, but these are great. I like them a lot. And Michelle, I wanted to also, while you're on, say a big thank you. I haven't even unwrapped it yet. I'm saving it. I'm going to send Emily hers. Emily, if you're watching, you have a sweet pen coming to you from Michelle. I took the green one. An orange one is coming your way. So thank you, my friend. Thank you. And you have a package coming your way as well. Isn't that great how we use these lives to communicate with each other? I love it. We're really looking forward to having Michelle on soon for another Kumahimo day. That's going to be great. She's doing it with leather. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's about 8 1/4, but I'm going to mark the center. It's going to be about right here. So I'm going to mark the center for this ruler's a little long. So let me get a ruler that's actually a little shorter. No, I like that one. April 10th. Oh, and Emily, you're on. Good. I thought you might be. Yes, I've got a pen for you from our dear Michelle, and she's going to be on April 10th with more Kumi. So let me just mark this. This is on the back end, and I'm going to mark it with a darker pen so you folks can see it. There's that. And let me mark about the middle of this is about, it's about right here. There we go. And I'm just going to give myself kind of a center line to go off of. About, let's hope that, I really like my clear one, but I don't have a shorter clear one here, so I'm using our little metal ruler. But there we go. Yeah, it's a little off, isn't it? Let me just mark another one a little further down. That's okay, it's on the back. I'm not going to worry about it too much. And you can use something, yeah, there we go. That looks better. You can use something like a chalk marker or something like that so it'll brush off, right? But here's the center right here and the center point here. So I am going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to start by putting a hole in this center one. Okay, let me, yeah, I don't know. We should probably dye some eggs too. I didn't really think about that. The one year Chris and I were dyeing eggs, and we usually get, you know, like, I don't know, we're like those organic fancy egg people. And all we had to dye Easter eggs with were brown eggs. And when you dye brown eggs with commercial Easter egg dye, it doesn't really work. So, but we'll get some Easter eggs because we've got to have our traditional egg crack fights too. So we'll get those done. We can dye them on Sunday when everyone's here. All right. Enough about my plans, my Easter plans. Let me go here. Here's our leather punch tool that we do carry here at Bead Shop. I'm going to use the smallest hole size. I'm going to use the 2mm size right here. And I'm going to take it right to the center of my leather, and I'm going to go ahead and punch it. I use this leather punch. Let me take it out of the, I've got to get it a little closer to me to get it through. I use this leather punch all the time when I'm doing rivets in my leather, stuff like that. This is what I punch them with. So you can see I've got a nice hole right here. You can see there it is. I'm putting the awl through it like this here. And I'm going to stitch a bead on here. Oh, yes, the Ukrainian Easter eggs. We have a great collection. You know, Chris's maternal family is Ukrainian, so his grandmother made them. So we have a bunch of those. We'll be putting those out as well. So yeah, it's a great holiday, regardless of how you celebrate it. You know, if you're religious, not religious, you just like to celebrate spring, whatever. It's a great time of renewal for sure, right? So here is this one. I'm going to do this on the back, and I'm going to mark a hole. Maybe I'll use one that's maybe has a little more contrast to it. It'll be easier to see like this, right? Do I like that one? I don't know, something about this. I'm just going to go with this one. That's what I want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to line this up with the hole. Use my awl to kind of line it up, right? Like so. Now I'm going to make 2 more marks because I want 2 more holes in here. I want a hole here. And I want a hole right there. Okay. I love how everyone is sharing their family traditions. You know, we are such an international beading community, which I love. We have beaders from all over the world of all persuasions. I love it. And I love how we can all discuss our traditions and share them. You know, we're just all here at one big bead table. I love it. So here's the 3 holes that I've done here. Okay, so that looks good. So now I'm going to grab my flat bead, and I think I'm going to stitch. I'm going to see how this hemp looks. Let me see how this looks. This is that hemp in the green. I could also use Irish wax linen. Hang on one second here. Irish wax linen for this. Hey, you cats come in. Chris? Will you? The cats are fighting out there. Sorry, everybody. I heard a big, there's a big, can you hear Alfred? Yeah, you did just hear a meow. Alfred and Oliver are in the back trying to, and I'm on the broadcast. Can you, they're out by the fence. Yeah. Someone has big tail. Sorry, Alfred's keeping the perimeter safe, everybody. Was there a cat? Oh, there was a kitty. All right. Well, sorry about that. Yeah, the kids. The kids are fighting. So sorry about that, my friends. Yes, Ollie had big tail and Alfred was meowing. And there's a poor little gray kitty in our yard who was trying to visit, but sorry about that. But Papa Kitty took care of it all. This broadcast is just nuts today. Okay, so I'm going to use this hemp. I'm going to go through like this. And I'm going to go through the center here. I know. It is true, Leslie. Never work with animals or children. It is true. And thank you, Mary Ellen. Food, holidays, cats. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, Alfred with big tail is pretty horrifying. And that was kind of a small little kitty cat, but very funny. So yes, I'm sorry about that. A little bit of cat drama, kitty cat drama. So I'm just going to stitch this. Anyway, back to this. Sorry. I'm going to stitch through these holes using the hemp. And I'm going to stitch it that way. And I'm going to bring this one up through that back hole. I'll show you the back, because really I actually have no idea what I'm doing here. So you're just coming along for the ride. I'm going to see if I can get this hemp back through this center hole. I have a needle here. Let me see if I can do it. I know, neighborhood watch, neighborhood watch. It's so funny. We have a pretty big yard, and we don't have that many other cats and stuff, but yeah, poor Alfie. He doesn't like other cats coming in his territory, for sure. Well, he does, but little Oliver too, with his big tail. So funny. Let me see if I can get this through. It doesn't want to go through doubled, but I know there's a way. Bear with me here just a second, because I really want to use this hemp. Though, let me see. The Irish wax linen we could strip down into the sum of its parts I might be able to do that with this hemp too. See, this hemp is 3-ply. Can you see that? Let me just untwist. And this, it's pretty strong. I mean, look, I'm really pulling it. So let me strip this out and see what we get. Right? I mean, this broadcast couldn't get any more chaotic. So let's just keep going. Let me see if I can do that. The plies in the Irish wax linen are the same, right? It's a 4-ply, but this hemp is a 3-ply. And I don't know if you've ever, like when you were a kid, or maybe you do it now, Drea does it a lot, embroidery, right? Using embroidery, needle embroidery, hand embroidery. She does some really great embroidery. You strip out the plies of your embroidery floss so you don't use such thick thread. Same thing with this hemp. I kind of like it, actually, a little bit thinner. And Janice, you said that hemp was on sale as well. I didn't even know. I guess I should have checked. So you just have to unply it. There we go. This is probably enough. I don't have to do this whole long piece, but let me see if I can just get this 1-ply out of here. Yeah, there we go. And look at, that's pretty darn strong, right? Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So let me just use this single ply. I could also wax it. I'm still looking for my elusive wax somewhere. It's about here somewhere. But you could wax this hemp if you wanted to stiffen it up. I don't know that I'll do that. Let me see if there's some wax here. I had it for a demo and then it went missing and I haven't been able to find it since. So maybe I just have to order some more. In a pinch, you could also use a candle or some soap or whatever to wax it down. But let's just go for it. Okay. So what was I doing? I was putting this through like so. And I was putting it through the center here like this. I actually think it looks better a little bit thinner like this anyway. Now I'm going to come up through this one here. And I think I will be able to get this to go down through that hole. I'm going to cut it at an angle. I'm going to use my thread scissors. I could also stiffen it with a little bit of zap glue. But let me see if I can just get it through there. Gosh, and planes are going overhead. It's chaos here today in Fresno. There we go. And put that through. I had this vision about working with these slices this way when I got them. I just love this wide leather, and I know that some of you may not love it as much as I do, but I really dig it. Look at how cool that looks stitched on there, right? Now I'm going to go through this other one that I made. Okay, like that. Yes, look at that. So cool. Now I'm going to cut another hole. I think I want to do a couple more on here. I mean, why not, right? So let me go to the back. And I'm going to try and do this. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to try and do it as evenly as I can, just by eye. Right there. That looks good. And then this one right here. That looks good. Okay. So see, I made 2 more down that little row that I did. So let me tighten this up. I'm going to go through let me see. I kind of want the stitching to look really neat on the back as well. So I think I'm going to actually trade places. I'm going to put this one through here like this. There we go. And I'm going to put this one through here. See if I can get it through. I have a big eye needle too, that will help, or any kind of needle. The wire needle, the collapsible eye will work as well. But this big eye should help me get this through. Come on, I can see you. There we go. Let me with the help of some pliers here. There we go. Now that's through and down. And I want it to come up through this one. Whoops. Like that. And then this one will go down. Okay, can you see that here? Let me zoom in just a little bit more. Ellen will have to put in the notes. Ellen will, she'll do the time stamping on this broadcast. She'll have to put the broadcast in the broadcast where Alfie chases the cat out of the yard. So I'll go through here, this one. Let me get another big eye needle. But the timestamps will, you'll be able to fast forward to the stuff that you want to see, and not the kitty fight. Oops. It needs to go through the back hole, sorry. Okay, so I want this to go, I actually want it to go down, I think. Bear with me here a second. And I want it to come up through the hole. The hemp seems to be holding up. You could also do this with Ceylon, but I really wanted something to have a kind of a more natural look to it. So I'm pretty happy with this. So there's one. Let me get another one here. What color do I want? Maybe this Unikite one is kind of cool. Maybe this Tiger Eye. That's a little too close to the brown. Maybe that blue one. Maybe that blue is what I want, right? Let me see if this fits through with the big eye needle. It does. Look at that. So I'm going to put this through that hole there on the side. And come up. Let me see if I can get this big eye needle through again. It does. Look at that. Now I'm going to stitch it through back down like that. And then I'll do the same for this one. If I can get this big eye needle open. Come on. The big eye is split down the center. There it goes. But you could use any thread. But remember, if you're going to use the hemp, you need to kind of separate it like I did. I actually want it to go down this hole. There we go. And now up through this one. And then back down. I like starting in the middle and working my way out. You decide what works for you. Let me stitch that down. And let me stitch this one down. Tighten that up. You could also, if you wanted to, which I might do, I might add a little drop of zap glue across these. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep working with this because I've got another, I want to put another hole, some more holes there and there. Bear with me here a second. Let me go to the back, get right where I want to be. With my hole punch, that one, and that one. Yeah, that's why I want to put these. You read my mind, JP. That's why I want to put another hole on this side. So let me actually, instead of putting it through this center hole, I'm going to put it through the side hole. Then we'll count to see how many holes I've actually put in here to stitch. Yeah, that's a lot better, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes down there. So yeah, instead of the hole that it's going underneath, I want to do that. Okay. So now what I want to do, I think I want to come up through these side. Maybe I'll come up through this center again. Bear with me here just a second because I have an idea. It might not be the right idea, but I want to see if it is. I want to see if I can embellish. Will this go through? It will. Stitch on the top here. Let me get my awl, will help me seat this correctly. Where's my awl? Here it is. There we are. Doesn't have to sit perfectly, but, and I could use a little shadow. This is a regular shadow, not a little one. Or you could use something that's flat. I'm not going to screw around it too much. But I really want it to sit. I might need something flatter. Let me see what I have. Just bear with me on this. Please and thank you. What do I have left over that I've been using lately? Oh, I know what. Here we go. This is what I want. We've got our nice, yeah, this is exactly it. We've got our nice Heshi by the strand. And I'm going to use a smaller shadow. This was close, but we've got these nice flat ones, right? Yeah, that might help, and we could certainly glue it down, but I want to try and create this first without any glue, and then I can always come back in and just gently add a little bit of glue where it might be needed. There's that Heshi. If you don't have any of these Heshi strands in your bead box, run, don't walk. I really like them as spacers. And we're looking to source some new daisy spacers, now that we can't get them from TierraCast any longer, but we're going to source some new ones. But the Heshi is a really great daisy spacer substitute. There we go. I know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't put a darn shadow in here, right? Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So pretty. Let me go ahead. I'm going to stitch to this center. So let me go here. I am going to go, well, I want this to be coming up from the center bead. So I'm just going to stitch it. I'm going to go to that center hole. There we go. Like that. Heshi. This one, little shadow. And down. We carry the hemp in a whole bunch of different colors as well. I need to explore a little bit more with this hemp, to be honest. We've done a few projects with it, but I feel like almost this is the first project where the hemp and I have really become friends. The colors are real pretty too. We've got some of these natural colors. We also have like this color right here. So pretty. So let me stitch this in. This is a little loose right here, so I just want to make sure that everything is tight. It's as tight as it needs to be. There we go. Now, let's get the Heshi bead. Yeah, and big eye needles, add them to your stash if you don't have them. Luckily, I actually ordered some the other day because I was like, oh, I think we need some. I think I need some. And they are, of course, really coming in handy right now. You could use the wire, the collapsible eye needles, for sure, but I didn't go back down through the Heshi. But I think these big eye, they're a little stiffer. So I think they're a little easier to use for this project. Go through the Heshi disc and back through. Now you could use the same technique, right? We're going to run out of these discs, the desert slices. They were only a Tucson find. But you could do the same thing. I was thinking you could stitch on like one of the barrels, right? You could do that same thing with the barrel bead stitching. We have other slice or smaller beads like that. So be kind of creative. If you look in the whatchamacall, the vintage finds, we have a bunch of really fun and interesting semi-precious pieces there that you could definitely stitch onto leather. Let me see if I can't see it. I need some more light here. I want to get this little end, there we go, through there. And then I want to get this one back there. So see, I've got all this nice, neat rows of stitching. The Heshi size, I will tell you, they are, where's in my mess here. These are the They're 4mm Heshi. Inside diameter 1.6. These are the ones that we have on the strand. Not by the bag, but by the strand. So now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to tie this off. I'll take the needles off. And I'm going to tie a nice square knot, nice and tight here. And this I am going to glue. Let me get my zap. Actually, I'm going to get my GS. My GS is what I want here. I'm going to put a little dot. We also just sent off a bunch of Irish wax linen. It should be back in by the beginning of next week in case there's a color that we're out of that you've been waiting to come back in. We had to spool it, but we did, and it's sent. So put yourself on the notification list. Get a nice bit of glue there. I'd really let that dry. I'm going to cut off some of the tails, but I'm not going to cut them real close yet until these are off. Or until the GS hypo is dry. Come on. There we go. All right. Let me clip. Let me just clip them kind of shorter. Now, look at that. Looks just great, doesn't it? I could make some more holes, and I could just make holes that are decorative. I could stitch some more stuff. I think I'm just going to make some decorative holes in this. Why not? Let me see if I can get them kind of even. I'm just going to do it by eye. I'm going to do 2. There's 1, and there's 2. And I'm going to do them on the other side as well. And it looks like it goes about right here. Take that visual measurement. Sorry, it's a little out of focus. I'll fix that as soon as I finish these holes. And here. These are about maybe 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch apart. Where's my ruler? Just under, maybe about 3/8 or so. Okay. I could stitch in just the Heshis. That would look good along there, right? So it's a little smaller. That would look great. I could just continue to go on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to size this. Let's get a clasp on it because I could do this. I could do this all day, but you get the idea, right? Decorative rivets. You could certainly rivet onto this. You could just stitch like this. You could use some heavy now that this is, let me just do this real quick. Now that I'm just doing these holes, I could just come in with the hemp like this. I could go along the side. There's really a whole bunch of ideas. The ideas are endless. Just get yourself a hole punch and your hemp and your beads and have fun. I'm going to angle cut this. It'll be a little bit easier for me to deal with. There it goes. And I think I can get it through one more time. This might need a needle. Look, come through? Yeah. Okay, so there's that one. Sorry, I'm a little out of focus. Sorry about that. Let me fix it. There we go. And now I'll do this one. My brain is trying to stay about 3 steps ahead of my hands. There we go. Let me just put this needle on. I knew that was the answer. I was just being lazy. There we go. Okay, so this goes on. This comes around and up. And back, around and up. Whoops, but on this side, wrong side. Okay, tighten everything, tighten everything. Are you wondering how I'm going to finish it? Me too. I think what I'm going to do is this. And just tie a knot at the top. Let's see what that knot looks like. I could stitch it back down, but I feel like I want a little more fiber, you know, on the top. So let me add a little bit of glue. And I'll do the same with the other one. And this. Slide it all through. Yeah, I'm really putting this hemp through its paces. It's holding up well. Tie that overhand knot. Get it right down to the top of that shadow bead. See that right there? I'm going to put my finger on it. Slide it tight. Whoops. A little bit more GS. Cement. Let me put the lid on this. Sorry, I need to get it into my field of vision. The worst part about using GS, right, is getting this flipping lid back on. But if I don't, I'll have glue everywhere. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to come in. I'm going to cut it a little further away because I think the ends of this hemp might, you know, unravel a little bit. See how I like that look. If I don't, I can really make sure that glue is nice and on there and I can clip it right at the knot. But we'll see. For now, I don't want to clip it right down to the knot because that glue hasn't dried yet. Okay, but that looks pretty cool on the end, right? You can see that side view. Then I do the same over there. This is probably glued enough for now. I could do the same on the other side. Okay, let me go ahead and put the clasp, put the clasp on. Just so we can see that part. I grabbed the, whoops, there went one of my big eye needles. Shoot. Let me put this other one aside. I'm going to put it right in there so I don't lose it. I think what I am going to do is, these feel pretty good stitched, but let's add just a touch of zap. I want to see how that works out. Okay. Let me get my little baggie here. Then we'll cut it and put the clasp on. Get a little bit of that zap there. We want to be careful. We don't want this to be like a zap glue party, right? We don't want that zap to get everywhere. It is a good unisex design, I think. I don't know. I was just kind of thinking about it and thinking about this big leather, the 20 millimeter leather. I'm going to use my toothpick. And I'm just going to swipe some glue right underneath. And if I like the glue idea, which maybe I do, I think I do, I could put the glue, but I need to be careful because it would be a slippery slope. I need to add the glue maybe as the piece is up, as this bead is up, right? I can get a little bit of glue underneath there, not near the hole, right? I would place it like on the underside, like about right here, right? Then push it down. Do I need to? There we go. Then I'd push it down so it would get the glue all the way around. But anyway, that one's glued. I'm just going to do that one for the moment and see. Let me go ahead and measure this and see if I can get a clasp on here. Okay, so here's this. This is going to come around. And I've got some overlap here. So it looks like I'm just going to kind of take a visual. That's where it starts to overlap. That looks about right. This clasp is about an inch. And this overlap here, I'm just going to take a little bit of a nip in it with my fingernail. I think this will be about an inch. Yeah, that's about an inch. So let me check and see how far this goes in. This goes, let's use the Michelle trick. Remember how Michelle taught us how to do that with the toothpick? Let me do this. Let me put this in. You mark it with my pen. There we go. That's about how much I'm going to have. Oh, and Cecilia, the desert slices, these are not discountable. Okay, so if you use Women 15, it'll put everything else discounted in your cart. But these, since these are Tucson finds, it's the price there. So that may be your issue. I'm going to cut away. Let me measure, and I need a little, like this much, so beyond the inch. So let me do this from the back. The inch is here, but I need a little bit extra to glue inside the clasp. So I'm going to cut it right there. Okay. So let me cut it. And since just about everything was centered on here, I think I should be able to use this as my measurement for this side to cut. Okay, but let me just make sure this goes through. Yep, that goes in there like that. Let me make sure that this is the same. This one's a little, well, it's about the same. Yeah, okay. The color hemp that I'm using is this one. It is, what happened to the, I'll tell you which one it is. If I can find, the little wrapper fell off of it. Oh, here it is. It is, Janice, can you look it up? It's this one. And it's kind of that blue, that teal blue color is what I'm using. Let me go ahead and cut this on the other side. I'm going to say that that's about right. There we go. Emerald. Yes, emerald. That's the one. So let me just pull it through here to make sure everything's going to fit. I haven't glued anything yet. Let me just make sure it's going to fit before I glue it down. Yeah, perfect fit. Look at this. This is pretty good, if I do say so myself. Let me go ahead and glue it down now. Okay. Let me zoom out a bit. I'm kind of in love with this project. I don't know about you folks. And, when we're done with the desert slices, when we're out of them, you could use other stones. Again, go to the vintage finds. Let me clear the decks. It's kind of a mess here. You could go to the vintage finds and find some really cool things. You could also use these barrels. The barrels are long, right? But I think they still might work if you only do one in the center. The sizes differ. So if you order a few, you might get some that are longer. You might get some that are shorter. It's kind of random. But if you have those shorter ones, you could use it in the center. Let me get all of these over here. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Let me get my toothpick over there. This. I'm going to use that dot clasp. There we go. Just so that when I put it, so I'm going to do this flat like this now so you can screenshot it. I'm going to cut another piece for that one. I'll do that ending, but I'll do it off camera. You don't have to worry about that. And let me go ahead and glue this in. I'm going to use our zap again as well. I'm going to get it right here on the edge of my leather and a little bit below. This clasp is curved, so I want to make sure that my curve is going correctly. Yeah, this would be a great unisex bracelet for sure. And you don't have to put any of the big beads on, right? You could simply do this design across, right? Stitch some of that hemp in, right? And some other beads. That would look cool as well, right? So let me bring this one around. I always keep the clasp closed so I don't glue it on backwards. Glue there. Glue there. Let me put the lid on. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm pretty pleased. And look, see, the back is pretty neat as well. Even like with those pen marks, the pen marks actually don't really bother me too much because they're kind of symmetrical and everything. Let's put this in here and glue it. There we go. Good time for a screenshot. Here's just the plain holes. So the total of the holes that I did, there's a little bit of glue coming out the back. So let me just neaten that up before I do a count. There we go. Just get your toothpick. Just neaten it up. There we go. That looks good. The holes are, as I say, a little under 1/2 inch apart. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 holes. And I did it on the 2mm punch here. Okay. So that, as they say, my friends, is that. There's the beauty shot. We'll put the other hemp through those other holes, stitch that in. But that's that. So you'll find the slices, as I say, they are limited edition. They are part of my Tucson finds, but you can certainly improvise. I used then the Heshi that we have by the strand, and I used the little shadows here across here. This is the dots clasp in 20mm, and I used the brown in our 20mm strap leather. Remember, with the 20mm, some of our clasps, you're going to have to skive those down to make sure that the leather can go inside the clasp, but you shouldn't have any trouble doing that. Look at how nice that gray would look nice with this as well. Really, really pretty. So folks, do remember the hemp is on sale this week. It might be the item of the week. I didn't really think about that. That's awesome. And we've had the 20mm leather on sale for 2 days. We're just trying to make room for more colors because we have so much of it. So we've discounted it to a real kind of blowout price. So if you want it, today's the day to grab it. It's 40% off, and I think you can actually couple that with a coupon. So yeah, there it is. We're all set there. So, my dear friends, I hope that you enjoyed this one. I did too. I think it was a fun one to make. I hope you have fun with these new desert slices I have, my Tucson finds. Just a reminder, my friends, you can find us on all of our social, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Hit that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel so you'll always be notified when we've got new content up. Join me every Wednesday and Friday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific for another live broadcast. And if you have any questions, hit us up at info@beadshop.com. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. Happy Easter, all happy spring holidays to all of you all. For the 40% off, Teresa, I think it was Teresa who just asked that. Hang on, let me go back. The coupon for the 40% off the leather, you don't need a coupon code, but we do have coupons on the front end of the website at beadshop.com that you can bundle with that when you hit certain minimum purchases. So that's it. All right, friends, thank you again. I will see you next Wednesday. It is our next episode of our wrap, our masterclass wrap bracelet. And don't forget, on the 1st, we've got a new monthly mix coming, and you're not going to believe what Allie made with this monthly mix. So don't miss it. That drop happens on the 1st, and that's on Monday. All right, friends, thank you so much. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.